Right now, somewhere in your body, there is a system that was built to keep you alive in a world that no longer exists. It tracks threats. It monitors your position in a group. It scans for danger constantly, even when you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. with nothing actually wrong. And when it decides something is off, when it decides you're isolated, purposeless, or falling behind, it punishes you. Not with pain, with emptiness. With the specific kind of gray, heavy nothing that makes getting out of bed feel like moving through water. We call it depression, and your ancestors almost certainly didn't have it. Not because their lives were easier. They weren't. They buried children. They starved. They watched people they loved get killed by things they couldn't stop. Their lives were genuinely brutal in ways yours probably isn't. But the system that's breaking you wasn't breaking them. And the reason why tells you almost everything about what humans actually need to function. Start with movement. The human body was built to walk between 8 and 16 kilometers a day. Not for exercise, not for fitness, just as a baseline requirement of existing. Hunter-gatherers didn't go to the gym. They moved constantly because staying alive required it. And movement, specifically sustained rhythmic movement, is one of the most powerful regulators of serotonin and dopamine the human brain has. Every step you take is a chemical event. A 2018 study published in JAMA Psychiatry, tracking over 33,000 people, found that just 1 hour of walking per week prevented 12% of depression cases. 1 hour. The average hunter-gatherer was moving for hours every single day. Their brains were chemically saturated with the byproduct of that movement. Yours probably isn't.
Then there's sunlight, your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates sleep, mood, and hormone production, was calibrated for a life lived almost entirely outdoors. Ancient humans woke with the sun, spent their days in it, and slept when darkness fell. Modern humans wake under artificial light, spend 90% of their time indoors, and stare at bright screens until midnight. Your brain's serotonin production is directly tied to light exposure, specifically morning sunlight hitting your eyes within the first hour of waking. Most people never get it. The system that needed it still expects it, and when it doesn't arrive, it registers something as wrong. Sleep is the third piece. Before artificial light, humans slept in 2 phases. 4 hours, a waking period, then 4 more. During that middle window, they didn't scroll. They didn't lie there anxious about tomorrow. They talked quietly. They had sex. They sat in darkness and let their minds move. Researchers studying modern populations without electricity found these patterns still emerge naturally. The 8-hour consolidated sleep block isn't ancient. It's an industrial invention. And the epidemic of 2 a.m. anxiety, the lying awake with a racing mind for no identifiable reason, may be your brain trying to enter that waking window and finding nowhere to go. But the deepest factor isn't physical. It's social. And this is where the gap between ancient and modern life becomes genuinely hard to look at directly. Hunter-gatherer groups were small, typically 20 to 50 people. You knew everyone. Everyone knew you. Your value to the group was visible and immediate. You hunted, you gathered, you made tools, you told stories, you raised children together, and everyone could see it. Social status wasn't abstract. It wasn't a number on a screen, or a job title, or a salary. It was whether people came to sit near you at the fire, whether they shared food with you when you were hungry, whether they laughed at your jokes. The feedback was constant, real, and human. Compare that to now. The average person has 338 Facebook friends and eats dinner alone. You can go an entire week without a single conversation that requires anything real from you. Social media delivers the structure of social connection, the notifications, the responses, the visible metrics, without delivering the thing the brain actually needs underneath it, which is to be genuinely known by people who are physically present. The system that monitors your belonging and status was built for a group of 30. You're asking it to parse 7 billion strangers. It cannot do this, so it defaults to threat.
There's one more thing. Purpose. In a hunter-gatherer group, Your contribution was directly, immediately connected to survival. You didn't have to wonder if your work mattered. The answer came the same day. The animal you tracked fed your group tonight. The shelter you built kept people dry. The meaning wasn't abstract and deferred to some future retirement or career milestone. It was concrete and immediate and confirmed by the people around you. Now imagine doing work that takes months to produce anything visible, for an outcome you can't directly observe, in exchange for a number in an account, to buy things that briefly feel good and then don't. The human brain was not built to find meaning in this chain. It wasn't built to defer gratification across quarters and fiscal years. It was built for the immediate loop of effort, result, and recognition. When that loop breaks, something in the system starts to register the absence as failure, as purposelessness, as the particular gray weight that sits on your chest on Sunday evenings for no reason you can name. Your ancestors weren't immune to suffering. They just lived inside the conditions their nervous system was actually built for. Movement, sunlight, sleep, small real community, immediate purpose, physical presence. Not as luxuries, as the baseline. Depression as we know it, at the scale we know it, appears to be a disease of the mismatch. The gap between what the human animal needs and what the modern world actually delivers. The system inside you isn't broken. It's working perfectly. It's just running in the wrong world.